Welcome to the Rivalry Weekly NFC West Football Talk with me, Joe Stevens, and Ryan from Nilborn Sports. How's it going?
It's going. What's up?
Not much, not much. Anything exciting happen in your neck of the woods lately?
Oh, just can never get out of talking about quarterbacks.
I noticed it made. I was watching one Adam Schefter on the Pat
Pat
McAfee show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just say you're sick of talking about the 49ers controversy, and you're not even halfway. You're not even all the way through one offseason. Okay. Now imagine multiple years of this.
Well, and I'm not even, I surround myself with you guys, but it's not like I follow 49ers news that well, right? So it's like the fact that I kind of know what's going on is insane,
Yeah.
a little bit. So what's the deal? Schefter says that Sam Darnold is likely the starter in week 1 if Purdy's not ready to go. That's basically what he was saying, right?
God damn. So what the consensus is that, how to put this, that Brian Greasy, the quarterback's coach for the San Francisco 49ers, it seems like he has told one of his old work buddies that, just bragging about, oh, Sam Darnold is, and the throwing motion, it's so pretty, and it's so okay, it's pretty. But guess what else isn't pretty? He throws that pretty pass to somebody else that's on the opposite team for no apparent reason whatsoever. There'll be nobody in his face, and he will gift wrap an interception to somebody. So they everybody's going off of what Brian Greasy has said, because he's oohing and ahhing over him, and he's not oohing and ahhing over Trey Lance. Why? Because he can't help Trey Lance really with much. What is he gonna say to Trey Lance? Hey, throw the ball down the field like I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brian Greasy wasn't known for his arm, so it's like, what does he bring to the table other than being a system passing pocket passing quarterback? You know what I mean? Which Trey needs to learn. That's the only thing he can bring to the table. He can't help him, do all this other stuff. Also, he can't fix the throwing motion. So to him, what has he got? He's got two guys who have a throwing motion that works perfect, right? Or is manageable, good enough, right? And then he's got another guy that he can't fix, that he doesn't know what to do with because he can't do anything with. So that guy, why would he want to get better as a coach? Why would he want to apply himself at all? You know what I mean? He came in, it's not like he said, oh, let's get Trey. He came in afterwards. He doesn't have any skin in the game with Trey. He should. He's the quarterback's coach.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to me. So that's why you got this narrative about Sam Darnold. Right now, out of all reports out of the training camp, seems like it's dead even between the guys. So to me, that's not a given. You know what I mean? So all reports that we've heard from training camp so far, from when the reporters were able to watch, is that essentially they're dead even. And it's okay. So how can you say one is better than the other? You can't. And to say that Sam Darnold would get the start over Trey Lance after the 49ers gave up so much capital for him, that the 49ers wouldn't want to try and, figure out some way to, let's say that they're not sold on Trey, right? But maybe they might want to get something for him. Wouldn't you want him to play? And if he's just as good as Sam Darnold, why wouldn't you let him play out there with everybody else when he's been in the system longer and he can help increase his value? You know what I mean? Or you can go play Sam Darnold, who, if they're doing the same thing in practice, is going to get you the same output and then you don't get to increase Trey Lance's value. So to me,
yeah, that's my thing is just you gave up so much capital for one guy, and I know that shouldn't be the end all be all because we've seen it. It's almost worse when you double down on a bad decision. If Trey Lance is a bad decision, then wash your hands and just just admit it. But the problem is you
we don't
haven't
know.
seen him, so you don't know if it's a bad
Yeah.
decision or not.
Essentially, at this point, not giving him any playing time and like letting him go somewhere else, that is doubling down on the bad decision to not essentially start him in the beginning, not to give him what he needed as a quarterback, not to take Kyle, not to take him under your wing and, act like your career is just as important as his and try to figure out how to make this first round pick, number 3 overall, figures it out and gets what he needs to be successful in this league. Like Kyle, I don't think he understands. He thinks like his scheme does all the heavy lifting. But if you look around the league, who is able to be the best coaches? Somebody who can get the most out of their quarterback, no matter who it is. Yeah, especially the quarterback. You know what I mean? Some of our best coaches have been all about taking care of the quarterback position and making that like the bread and butter.
Yeah, and I'm a homer, but I mean, even look at Russell Wilson with Pete Carroll for such a long time. Everybody let Russ cook. Well, once he went to Denver, you saw why Pete didn't let Russ cook, right? You saw that he pulled the reins back quick because he saw it wasn't going to work. That's what happens when you let Russ cook, right? So you find guys' strengths and guys' weaknesses, and you play them as they are, not as the scheme is. If that makes obviously don't abandon whatever scheme you have. Obviously, you can't do that. But if you can find them how to fit in your offense and use them in a little bit different way, that's how you do it.
I was watching a video today. This video came out. I can't remember something Allen, his name or something like Allen something. He pretty much talked about is Brock Purdy the same as Jimmy Garoppolo.
I saw Ted. Ted had something labeled as
talking about it. Yep. So one thing that they brought up in the video, which I think everybody should go back and find this video. I wish I could remember the name of it to help you out. But if you haven't seen it, I think it is like maybe 6 minutes in or something like that, maybe a little bit more or less. He puts up the screen of Brock Purdy's passing like on the field, like where he throws the ball to, and Jimmy's both versus the league, right? And you can see there it's the system. Holy Jesus, it's the system. You can see where every single window is. There's a window to the right of the middle linebacker, and there's a window to the left of the middle linebacker. You can see all the spots. You can tell that you can see Kyle Shanahan's scheme right there in that the target. I guess I can't remember what it's called, but it was really interesting to see how same everything was. And to me, I think Brock Purdy might even be a little bit more accurate than Jimmy, because Jimmy's looked a little more blurry, and Brock Purdy's looked a little more focused. But that also I don't know how long it was taken for. If it was just this season, it could have been because Jimmy had more attempts or something like that, and then that was what kind of made it a little more fuzzy. But
man, I forgot that Jimmy played for the 49ers this season.
Bro, isn't it crazy?
Yeah, when you said this season, I was like, man, who did he play for? And I was like, oh, shit, he played for the 49ers. Shout out everybody in the chat. Sorry about that. Brian Bebop and David McNair.
Yeah, and everybody else who's watching, make sure to say hi in the chat so we can say hi to you. Appreciate you watching.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
we
just
got Bebop in the house. I didn't see that.
Brock gonna throw with his legs more than just his arm.
Do I sound crackly?
Yeah, a little bit. Might want to reset that mic or something. Goat white, goat turquoise, white horns. Bryant says there's a lag as well, but that's nothing we can do there. Go ahead.
Yo.
That's 1,000 times better.
Okay.
Until it isn't. But yeah, it sounds better right now.
Until it isn't.
Yeah. That's what I've learned with YouTube so far, or just streaming in general, right? We just it's good till it's not, and then it's not good, and then
I remember the first show I had with Lawrence and Wolfcast. I was having an issue to where I had to like I was hearing an echo the whole time, but they couldn't hear it, and the YouTube couldn't hear it, but I had to hear it. And I told them, I said, hey, I can still hear the echo, but we'll get it right. And then like at the end of it, they're like, wow, like Wolf was like, wow, you were hearing an echo the whole way through. I was like, yeah. And they were like, damn. And it was like, you know, you just got to power through. When you start hearing yourself come in the second time, you just got to focus on the first time. You just keep power through what you were saying. Man, it was tough. But, you know, that's how we do it. Oh, we got the pineapples. The pineapples flooding in the chat here.
yeah,
you know the pineapples, right?
You told me about pineapples last week. Yeah, I heard about the pineapples. The first time I ever went live on YouTube with you guys, I was watching you guys on YouTube. I was just sitting there because I was like, oh, I'm about to go on live with this guy on Wednesday, right? So, or Tuesday or whatever it was. And I was like, okay, well, I should probably see what he's all about. So then you sent the link to me, and I still had YouTube open. It was just like, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, oh shit, I still have YouTube open. So I'd hear things like twice.
I remember I came into a show one time, and I was like, you know, Corey's or somebody's, Brian, and I was like, hey, you know, blah blah blah, mute yourself. I can hear the echo, and everyone's like, echo? I don't hear no echo. I was like, yeah, you can't hear the echo, man. That's bad. Like, I don't hear no echo. And I look in the tab, and I was like, oh, I got a YouTube tab open.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I always make sure it's paused before like I do anything now, right? Because that's
well, I'll just mute it. I'll just mute it because I'll let it play. Because like if I'm on Corey's show, you know what I mean. Corey gets my view, and I'm on the stream. You know what I mean. So you know, I'm helping the homie out. You know what I mean. Same thing with Brian. You know, if I'm on my thing, like I got, yeah, they're getting my view and me being on their show at the same time.
Yeah. No,
shout out to Brian Culp with his Sunday morning shows, Sunday morning shows starting at 9:00 in the morning on the weekends. His Coffee Talk. Make sure you go check him out. David Knighter's always there too.
Any word from David Corona lately? I missed last Friday night show. How did that go?
Well, he's still collecting for his collage.
I forgot to go back.
You did. Back. Yeah, because you wouldn't have asked about how he's doing. You would have made a joke about how he is.
Yeah, I did forget about to go back. Or I did forget you were like, go back 10 minutes. And then it was a long drive. I got all the way there and I was like, no. I forgot all about it.
You're good. Hey, at least you know you got a show you can watch when you travel to Eastern Washington.
Yeah, that was my thing. And it was pissing rain too. And I was like, I almost, because you sent me the link to join, right? And I was like, should I click on this? And I was like, I cannot do this right now.
No, it's probably best that you didn't. So like in a car, the noises are always louder. So like when one time Beto did a show from his car.
I remember that.
To be best, you gotta mute after you talk. There's just too much going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I made it through all 36 Morgan Wallen songs.
Oh God.
I go, you know what? There's 36 songs on this album. I'm gonna see which ones are good and which ones are shitty. So I liked the ones that I liked, and then I just didn't like the ones that I didn't. So they
doing a little bit of homework.
Yeah, we got Seahawks Eddie in the house. What's up, Seahawks Eddie?
What up, Eddie? Appreciate you coming in. Hey, Eddie, you know Tom Crossey's coming to Seattle Saturday.
Oh, Eddie's
go down
be
and
there.
You gonna be there, Eddie?
I just said that like I actually knew. I don't know, but if I were to
be down there,
assume,
Eddie.
if Eddie's not working. Also, if any of you guys, anybody in the chat wants to take pictures with us, us as local celebrities, we will be at the Tom Crossey event on Saturday, whatever time it may be. Not sure what that is.
This is a thing where it'll like keep your phone stable.
You're gonna look like such a dork holding that around,
bro. So I was in Walmart. I was they got this light that I like. It's a rechargeable light for streaming, and you can adjust all the parameters really well. It's nice. So I was in there looking at that, waiting for it because it went down $10, right? And so I'm like, oh, hey, it went down $10. Like, I wonder if they're gonna make it go down a little bit more, right? So as I'm looking at this thing, seeing that it went down $10, there's a studio mic that's I think it was $10. I bought that an extra mic for $10, and this thing was normally like.
You buy the studio mic?
Yeah, I bought the studio mic for $10, and then I bought this thing for $15. And this thing's like rechargeable. Test that
studio mic out, unless that's the one you use. This is the one. This one's crackling bad.
Again?
Yeah.
Keep talking.
It's hard for me to keep talking. Seahawks Eddie, I will be there too. If you want to meet up or something, I'll be there with my wife. So just hit me up if you want to meet up. That's the one at the stadium you're talking about, obviously, I think. Let's see. Let's see what's everybody saying in this chat here. Trying to take the whole family to Santa Clara Sunday. That's badass. If anybody has any questions for us or whatever in the chat, feel free to ask any topics that you want us to cover. I'm going to go August 4th. So I'm skipping out on training camp in Renton this year. I'm just going to go to the blue-green scrimmage that they do, the mock game. So I'll be there at the stadium. How many field goals will the Seahawks make this year? That is what? I don't know. 35. Sup all. Busy time of year for me. Hope all are well. Yeah, it's nice to see you, Randy Daytona. I haven't seen you in a while.
There we go. How we sound now?
Good for now. Sound good for now.
Funny because I haven't been having issue with the scratchy or the clickiness in a while, and now all of a sudden it's coming back again.
Yeah, weird. Because I remember it was a problem a while ago.
Yeah, and then I bought that other mic, and I was using it, and I was having issues with that one too. So I don't know.
Bebop asked a pretty good question here. When is Pete Carroll retiring? I'm going to say 3 years.
Why are you not going to anything other than the blue and green game?
I'm not feeling it. Dude, training camp. I'll just go.
You should be going, and you should be taking video of your guys and then putting it up as shorts and doing all that stuff.
I will at the blue and green game. It's much more fun. I've realized that the blue and green game is much more fun. The difference too is, so back in the day when you went to Seahawks training camp, so I started going when they first opened the facility in 2009. Back in the day, you could drive yourself there. And now you got to meet up at the landing in Renton, get on this packed shuttle bus with everybody else right there. So at the blue and green game, all we do is park at the stadium, walk into the stadium like a game, so you don't have to get on a packed bus with a bunch of people. I kind of like it. It's a lot more or less stressful. And they have good concessions.
I just think you should be taking advantage of time in front of the team. I just see how it has blown up other people's channels in our community, and I know you don't have a lot of people in yours, and for you to do that and stand out would probably be good.
Seahawks Eddie says I always get to the landing early to get the first bus. Yeah, see, that's the problem I have with going to the landing, is I hate parking at the landing. I hate getting on the bus at the landing. I hate getting off. I just don't like the landing at all. I hate the landing.
I just want to say something. Here in Washington, they are very dumb when it comes to transportation. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bay Area. I grew up going on the BART train, like multiple times in a weekend, even at times, or in a week. You know what I mean? Like I'd go into San Francisco with my mom on the weekends. She'd work on the weekends. I would go into San Francisco during the weekdays with my grandpa for certain things.
On the bus? The trolley?
No, on the BART train.
What's that? The trolley thing off Full House?
No, that's the BART train is like the subway station that links like the whole Bay Area together. My mom got in the 1989 earthquake. She was on the BART train and she had to walk up the tunnel. So like, yeah, like Seattle was going to do the same thing in the 70s and they voted it down. And look at them now. They're scampering trying to do it. So
BART train. Yeah, we have the light rail, which kind of is like this.
Not at all, though. That'll get
just looking at
photos. BART will actually get you to places where you want to go. You know what I mean? Like it'll pop you up in the city and all different types of city. It'll take you to all the outlining cities around the Bay. It's really handy to the point where you know people might catch a bus to the BART station in the morning and take the BART train to work and then walk to their work building and then just get out and report that home and never have to have a car, except for when they go on the weekends to go do things. Like that's not how it is up here, and it's it's so annoying.
Yeah, I used to take the light rail to the games often, especially Mariners games, just because like I'll pay for parking at a Seahawks game. It's worth it. I won't pay for parking on the Mariners game. But yeah, I'll just I'd hop on that light rail. It was pretty nice, but the buses, I don't like the buses, especially training camp, because they pack you, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder. So
I don't understand why they don't just let you walk there. You know what I mean? Like,
well, like
I've not seen the layout.
One year we paid our season ticket deposit in cash. So this is how laid back it used to be. I think it was 2011. Yeah, I remember, because it was the strike year, or the lockout year. Sorry. We went in because obviously our deposit was late. So we walk in and they let me like walk up and watch the players practice and stuff, like up on the balcony when I was like, how old would I have been? 13 years old. That was pretty cool. And then, yeah, everything's just got a lot more stricter as time goes on, and the Seahawks became more popular, right? That's a huge thing. So,
Well, it gets hot up here at that time, especially when the grass is still green and has moisture, and the sun is like evaporating it up. So like every field you stand on is like a sauna. You know what I
Well,
mean?
here's another thing about the Seahawks training camp or the Seahawks practice facility. So you've seen it before, right? Right on the water in Renton, like it looks so nice. There's people driving boats to practice. There's people, on the water watching the Seahawks. Well, I'll tell you, that hill that the fans sit on to watch training camp, it seems like about 2 miles away from the water. So it is very hot sitting up on that grass hill watching him. So
Yeah, that's kind of like our stadium, the in Santa Clara was built for Candlestick Park because they had the sheer wind coming off the coast there, that it was very cool, and so it could be more open and the sun could be there because you were going to get a breeze and it was going to be a cooler area. So they put it down south where they don't get such a breeze, and now people are dying in the stands, and they have to ask the league to schedule night games for them early in the
at
season
Santa Clara.
because it's too vicious. Yeah,
Oh, dude, that sucks.
one guy got like heat stroke and died, or a heart attack and died because of the heat, and then like to the point where they hand out free bottled water. That's like
Wow, that's impressive because that's tough
right.
to give away for free at a stadium. That's like
If I
$6.
if I am correct, please tell me. But I swear I've heard that from multiple people that was the trade off. Oh, we can't give you shade and people are dying, so here's free bottled water. And I was immediately when I thought that, I was like, oh my god. I said they're gonna give free water. Holy Jesus! You know what I mean? Like
And anybody that's
almost had
watched the Woodstock '99 documentary knows how big of a deal that is.
dude. I remember you were talking about the Gorge.
Yeah.
I went to go see the Allman Brothers, the Grateful Dead, and the Doobie Brothers at
hmm
the Gorge. And I remember going down. Someone was like, "Hey, go get me a beer." My girlfriend at the time, her father was like, "Hey, go get me a beer." So I was like, "Okay." So I go down there, and there was a tall can, a 24-ounce can, was like $11, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!"
Yeah.
I work in the beer industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I I was like 2 days removed from down stacking a 2,800 case truck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, bro, this is not $11. This is fucking bullshit. And
Yeah, concerts are worse than games too. I'll tell you what, because I go to a lot of concerts as well. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off
you're
there.
good. It was a great concert. If you ever can get a chance to go to the Gorge and see a concert or one of your favorites, do it. Make sure you do it. And it's going to be in the evening where the sun's going to set, because it's one of the most gorgeous places to watch music being played. It's gorgeous.
Also, rest in peace to the people last weekend at the Gorge. There was 2 people that passed away there.
Oh, what
So
happened?
shout out
Heat
shooting.
stroke? Oh,
Yeah, so big shout out to those people. It's been the first time anything has happened like that. There specifically. So yeah, sad to hear stuff like that happen. Sorry for bringing up a sad subject there.
yeah. Shout out to the families of the people in the submersible.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. But on a lighter note, yeah, sorry for bringing that up. I apologize. I figured you ever heard about that.
No,
That rolls.
what concert was it at?
Wanderlust.
What the fuck?
Some EDM, kind of like a Paradiso type deal.
That's what I'm saying. What the? Okay. It
Yeah,
must have been over drugs.
yeah, or just a crazy fuck, right? That's
I
kind of
guess.
my feeling. Crazy fucking people.
Let's get back to it. What's any news coming out of your neck of the woods?
Other than fans just speculating stuff that's completely impossible, people talking about trading Jamal Adams. I don't think anybody would give us a 7th round pick for Jamal Adams if they can't. Nobody wants to take on his contract. I'm pretty sure he's the 2nd highest paid safety in the league right now, and he can't play safety.
You would have to pay off a lot of that to the point where
it wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't be worth it.
I don't think it would. I think you're doing good with draft picks anyways. I would just sit where you are, just let him pay out his contract. Hopefully you can get out of it some way. You know what I mean? And then you could just,
I mean, unless he performs really good this year, because there is always that chance, because he might. I mean, he's a very gifted, athletic person.
Okay. So what? Why? What? It doesn't matter to me if he performs well. This is the reason why, because he doesn't play his position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to me, maybe you guys can make it work well. I need somebody who can play their position, who can maybe play, half to 3/4 of another position. You know what I mean? That's
how the Seahawks always were before Jamal, right? We had our guys.
He seems better if you converted him to a linebacker.
That's what I thought. I think he's too small.
I think he is too.
Candace disagreed with me, but I looked up afterwards because she was like, "Oh, I think he's the same size as Devin Bush." Height-wise, yeah, but he's still 25, 30 pounds lighter than him, right? So,
you're kind of stuck playing single high with him.
And we played single high forever.
Safety. And he's the box safety. Yeah.
He's a box safety. That's what you almost just got to treat him like. I was kind of reading, not really reading, but skimming an article from the Seattle Times today that was saying this positionless defense may work out in the Seahawks. It might be really scary, but then again, it might fall right on its face. That's for time will tell, right? Time will tell whether it'll work or not with 3 safeties on the team.
It takes a lot of good training and a lot of smarts to have to play positionless football. So like the 49ers on offense kind of play positionless football. But that's because you've got Kyle Juszczyk, who is a genius. He went to, what is it, Yale? You know what I mean?
No idea.
Yeah, he went to an Ivy League school. You know what I mean? He got into an Ivy League school. All his buddies are on Wall Street or top lawyers and whatnot. George Kittle, just smart when it comes down to football. This guy knows exactly what's going on. Everybody on that offense knows the scheme really well because everything kind of meshes. So you have to kind of know what the other positions around you are doing, because you're going to end up in that position one time in the motion because it's the other person's time to get the ball in the same type of play. You know what I mean? So it's positionless there, but you have to be smart. And with the Seahawks, I'm not saying your guys aren't smart, but on defense, it's different. You have to be extremely smart because you have to know how teams are trying to attack your scheme. And then you have to recognize what they're doing and whether they are trying to attack your scheme or if they're actually doing the play that it looks like. You know what I mean? It's supposed
and
it's
not just one guy, right? It's not just one guy playing that positionless defense. It's 3
people. Yeah.
Yeah. So not only do you have to have one smart guy going, okay, when I do this affects the field this way, and so has to do this. So even if you do that, you're still banking on somebody else to do this, which I mean is really football in general, or zone coverage in general, right? But at the same time, it's it just gets complex because if you're not in I don't know. My favorite days were Seattle cover 3, and I think we're kind of getting back to that point once Jamal Adams gets hurt this year.
Like you're saying, like as one person does something, it affects the game or the coverage, the scheme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're the third person on the thing, and you go to look over to see, okay, this and that, and then you're like, where is the guy who should be there? Well, it's a different play, and he's gone off there, and you have to take extra time to figure out where he is, to figure out what you need to do. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just,
well, I mean, even
it could be nasty, but there's too many ways it can get hung up, and then once it gets hung up, it becomes clunky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is like you got to have a pass rush for this to work. Anything with any type of multiple coverage, you have to with any type of coverage, you have to have a pass rush. But especially if you're playing something complex, right?
Are they putting the cart before the horse?
Pardon?
Are they putting the cart before the horse, you think? Because I don't think, to me, what you were saying, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
No, that's fine.
you need, for this to work out well, you need to have pressure right off the bat. So you can have these three safeties trying to, capitalize on badly thrown balls or, something that's under pressure. So if you don't have that just of yet, and then you've got this thing in your secondary that is, trying to figure out what's going on itself, and it just seems like a liability.
To be completely honest, I think the secondary they'll figure out pretty quick. I'm not worried. I'm not necessarily worried about the secondary as much as from my perspective, and this is just me. We have 6 to 7 starting caliber NFL defensive backs. And I mean, when I say starting caliber, I mean like truly can step in almost anywhere and start the position somewhere. Like I said, so we have 3 to 4 corners and 3 safeties. What I'm really worried about is the rest of that defense. I think Bobby's aged a little bit, but I don't think he's fallen off. But that defensive line, I'm really freaking nervous about that defensive line.
Yeah. Because, hey, who cares if you can cover somebody just blanket for 5 seconds? You can't do it for 7 to 9.
And you know what I mean? I know I always bring this up with you, but it's true. It was simple cover 3 against the 49ers last year in the playoffs. And once our defensive line got tired or your offensive line realized, oh, shit, we're getting pushed backwards in the second half, that's when the tables turned. It was like once we couldn't get a pass rush, it didn't work anymore, So you can run anything on any defense, zone coverage, man coverage, whatever. You're not going to be able to keep up with everybody forever. So,
and see, that's why the 49ers hired Steve Wilks. So a lot of things Steve Wilks kind of came in, and you know how normally you get a new defensive coordinator, he brings in all his homeboys and this and that. That didn't happen.
Just him,
he pretty much. And, he understands that the defensive line is just as important as his baby, which is the secondary, which is another reason why he's here. Because if you can understand that, then you're going to fit in well. Because the 49ers are always trying to have a good defensive line. It's just from as far back as I can remember, the 49ers have always wanted to have a defensive line full of just meat eaters. You know what I mean? Toss you around guys. And that's, our style of football. We want to hurt you. And to pair it, and like, we don't really worry about our corners. We have always gone after safeties. We always like to have better safeties because they cause punishment in the secondary. They make wide receivers think twice about catching a ball over the middle. You know what I mean? And that's been our bread and butter. So we've always married the defensive line to the secondary, but with the safeties, more so the safeties than others. And we always try to have good linebackers. So, that's our philosophy.
Well, I mean, that's a recipe of any great team if you think about it. I mean, people always say the Seahawks built the defense, our dominant defense, our all-time defense, back to front, with the secondary being first. But no, that's not true. I mean, look at our defensive. We didn't have that one guy that got 20 sacks a year, but boy, we had 3 that had 10. Something.
Yeah.
We had that rotation. And once that's gone, you can't do much, right?
It's like the 49ers. We always got at least 8 guys on the defensive line, and we got 2 on the practice squad. Like, have you noticed how we do things in the offseason? Like, other than like our main 3 defensive linemen, we can have different names every year. It doesn't matter. It's because our defensive line coach, Coach Sark, he gets the best out of these guys to the point where if you have been struggling in the league and you need to have a get right year, you want to come to the 49ers and you want to work under Chris Kosirk, because he's going to take you and he's going to give you the best chance to have the best year. Because I think what he really does is he makes things so easy for the guys to think about. It's, first and second down, we're stopping the run. And once we stop the run, we're going to pin our ears back on third down. We're going to get after the quarterback. You're not going to drop back and pass coverage. You're not going to do all this other stuff. We're going to try and figure out the stunts that's going to work against these guys. I'm going to give you, he trains these guys on snapping the ball. I swear that's his favorite drill, because he's trying to get their twitchiness. He's trying to get them just reacted to the ball. I think I swear that's his favorite drill, because he just wants these guys.
Not to begin with. Anybody.
Yeah.
I've never seen him do it. But yeah, it's awesome. Right, doing the hard count and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just there's a reason why we have people here like that, and like, you gotta watch out, bro. Cleveland Farrell. Remember that name. He's gonna spoil a game or two for you.
Trust me, I heard the name. I watched Hard Knocks. All right.
Oh, okay.
The one with Antonio Brown not wearing his helmet, freezing his feet off. He was a big part of that, because he was one of their 3 first-round picks that year.
Did you hear about Antonio Brown lately?
About his football team that got kicked out of the league? That one?
Oh my!
Or was it
God,
something
dude.
new?
So he said he was going to join like the AFL or something like that.
Oh yeah. What's up, Corey?
And I don't know. To me, I'm like, I don't know if he did this on purpose or if it wasn't, just him being him. I'm 90% him being him.
Oh, but he didn't sign the right paperwork, so he got kicked out of the league.
Well, not just signing the right paperwork. He wasn't paying. He wasn't. So what did he do? He paid his dues. So every month, every team owner is supposed to pay 1/7 of the dues, the fees to run the whole league, right? So the first month he paid his dues, but then like 2 weeks later, said, "Hey, that was a mistake," and he got his money back. And then the next 2 months, he just never paid.
Can I ask a question though? Honestly, it brought a lot of publicity to that league, because I've never heard of it before. But who in their right mind just thinks, you know what, Antonio Brown's going to come in here, being an owner of this team, and he's probably going to do a stand-up job? Like, who the fuck thinks that?
You want to know the best part?
What?
He bought this team because his dad played for this team. His dad was a really big part of this back in the day when it started. So he bought this team to kind of honor his dad, made a part owner, and then ran that shit into the ground. 2 months.
So, do you remember where you were when he ran off the field shirtless? Do you remember? Because that's one sports moment. Like, you know how people remember like big moments in history, like where you were, like when he quit on the Buccaneers. Do you remember that?
I didn't see it at the time, so I think I probably watched it in like a red zone moment or something like that.
I watched it. So I'm at the Seahawks game. We're playing the Lions. I want to say it's the last home game of the season. So it's the second to last game of the season. Or maybe it was against the Bears. I don't remember, but it was one of the two. It was the last 3 weeks. And I get a notification on my phone that says Antonio Brown leaves game shirtless against New York Jets. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So it's an ESPN link too. So it's like no bullshit, right? So I click on it and I watch it and I'm like, dude, this fucking guy. Because he finally seemed like he turned it around for like a year.
Bro. Like, like I'm not one to give people like third chances. Okay.
He got
but
it.
I was given him a third chance. Because it was like, because I was ignoring it. I was like, this will fail. Then it wasn't.
Me too. Yeah.
And I was like, good on you. You know what I mean? And then he did that shit. And I was like, you fucking piece of shit. You know, like you made me not, well, he is kind of he seems like he is probably a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
I'm just saying like, I was saying you piece of shit because like you made me give you a third chance. And I was like behind you. And then you do this shit? Like, oh God, like you made me feel like a fool.
You know what? You know what's gonna piss me off about that guy is the fact that he's gonna do something fucking crazy, which he not like he hasn't already have. He's gonna do something fucking crazy, and then he's gonna be like, you know what? I can just blame CTE for all this. For all my years in the league, I can just blame CTE for this. And it's like, no, dude, you're just fucking insane. I'm sorry. Look at all the players that had CTE. I mean, I get it. It's no joking matter or whatever. It's a real thing. But the fact that he's going to do something fucking insane and then he's going to go, oh, yeah, CTE all my years in the NFL really screwed me up. No, dude. Sorry.
That he's going to say that. I bet you, when he runs out of money.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. Yep.
Yeah.
He's going to go see that hit that Vontez Perfect did on me. I was normal until then.
But you know what's funny? They got him on record saying, I ain't got no CTE. You think this is but it doesn't matter. He's not going to care. He's just going to be like, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm a huge anti-Antonio Brown guy because Russell Wilson was lobbying for Antonio Brown to come here. And I don't care how talented you are. No.
There's only a little bit of crazy I will tolerate, and you got to be on the line.
See, that's my thing too. It's like Earl Thomas. He was crazy as fuck for forever since he'd been here. He was fucking crazy, but he kept it almost to himself. You know, he kept the craziness.
Yeah.
Like
kept the demons in the closet.
Yeah, he'd say some weird ass shit to people, like to the media. And the only time it got like way huge was when he went to the Dallas Cowboys locker room and said, "Oh, come get me." But like other than that, before that, he was always some crazy shit, you know? What did Corey come to the last 49ers trivia show? See if you can beat your co-host. Is that tonight?
He's trying to say that I got to give up my fan card because I did horrible in the questions. He got all these fucked up questions, and then we're all guessing, and he's going back. He'd be stealing all the questions from the book. I'll look at my score, right? And then now I found Corey. I found the guy he sold Carl to, and I have paid him, and he will be dropping Carl back off in the early morning tomorrow. Okay.
What the fuck are you talking
about? 3:30. Carl, the rooster who kept on attacking Corey. So tomorrow, Corey, when you get up, go to dialysis, watch your ass.
Is tonight the last 49ers trivia show?
It's the last one out of this book.
All right. What time does it start?
Right after this show.
At 7?
4 minutes, I believe. I don't know. It might be at 8. Let me check my.
Corey, what time is your show? This will be easier. It'll just be, he's still here, I think.
I don't know. He might be grabbing a shotgun. He might be scared of Carl.
The pickaxe. Sorry, I'm just, for the few minutes that I was on 7 p.m., you better get the fuck out of here, because I think, Corey, you know what? I think I will make it to the last 49ers trivia show out of this book. I'll do that. I ain't got no other plans tonight, so let's
yes, and if you are watching, please do like what Brian Culp says. Please like and subscribe to Joe. I'm guessing if you're already here, you probably know me, so make sure you subscribe to Joe.
We're on my channel.
We will be on this. We will be on his channel for the foreseeable future. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you are subscribed here so you can see when we are going live in your subscription tab and see all the shows. All right.
And also, trust me, everybody, the more it gets closer to August, the more exciting the news will be. It's kind of rough right now. Like, I know a lot of you guys on the side here, you do your own shows, but it is kind of rough right now just trying to come up with shit to talk about your team that hasn't been talked over 10 times already. So it's kind of fun to get off topic sometimes. I think maybe next week we'll try to make up a list or something fun, for people to hear our opinions about maybe past, present, or future players or something. So, but yeah. With that, I think we're out. Thank you, everybody. You got anything else? What do you got going on this week? Friday night show?
Oh, yeah. Check us out tomorrow night, my channel, Friday night show.
And you can find his description or his link in the description. So thanks, everybody. Bye.